Welcome back, Star Wars fans, to episode 108 of Ronald's Reviews, and on today's episode, which characters would you pick in the Return of the Jedi Retro Collection? Cue the march. Welcome back everyone. Now, like I said in the intro, today we're going to take a look at the 6 figures that I would like to see released in the Return of the Jedi Retro Collection. Now, recently I was watching a video from Nick over at Only One Kenobi, and he mentioned a couple of figures that he would like to see released as and when the line comes out. Now, I can only assume the line will be released next year in line with the 40th anniversary of the movie. But that video got me thinking, if I could pick which 6 figures that I would like to see released in the standard release line before we get into the 7th figure that's always put in a silly board game, which 6 figures would I pick to be released? Well, today, we're going to find out. Okay, so my first choice would be Wicket. Now, I've got to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the Ewoks, or my friend Tez would say the Murder Bears, but to be fair, Wicket is a massive integral character in Return of the Jedi. He's the first Ewok that we see in the scene where he meets Leia, and for me, as much as I'm not a huge fan of the Ewoks, I kind of feel Wicket has got to be in there. So he would be my first choice, and I think Wicket is a must really for the Retro Collection in Return of the Jedi. Like I say, not particularly one of my favourites, but I just feel because he's so integral to the Return of the Jedi and the storyline, I feel he's got to be in there. So my first choice for the Return of the Jedi Retro Collection would be Wicket.
Cut it out!
Okay, and figure number 2 in the Return of the Jedi Retro Collection for me has got to be Luke Skywalker in Jedi outfit. I mean, how can you not have him in the Return of the Jedi Retro Collection? Such an iconic figure, and obviously a massively recognisable outfit from Return of the Jedi. And one of the few vintage figures as well that comes with 3 accessories. So we've got a cape, although mine is starting to discolour as you can see. We've got the Palace Blaster, and we've got his lightsaber. Just an unbelievable vintage figure. My good friend Shabby's favourite, as you all know, and for me it's got to be included in the Return of the Jedi Retro Collection. Like I say, it's something that I would love. I definitely want him in there. I think he will be in there, but for me he's a must. Okay, so number 3 has to be, for me, Princess Leia in Boushh disguise. Now, what an absolutely iconic outfit. We all recognise the outfit, but more importantly, we recognise the helmet. It's an absolutely fantastic vintage figure, that huge long rifle that she comes with. I've got to say thank you to Tez and Matt, actually. I had no idea you could display this figure with the rifle behind her arm like that until I saw those guys doing it. But I mean, look at that for a figure. And it's one of those figures that without the helmet and without the rifle, you often find them on eBay without the accessories. It just looks like a standard figure, but the minute you put the rifle with her and the helmet on, it just completely changes the dynamic of the figure. I absolutely love it. Plays a huge part in Return of the Jedi, and for me has got to be in the Retro Collection. I would actually love to see that helmet in the Black Series 1.1 scale as well. I don't think they'll do it because there's too many materials for it, but for me, an amazing figure, and I would love to see it in the Retro Collection.
The mighty Jabba asks why he must pay 50,000.
Hey, Yotto.
Because he's holding a thermal detonator.
Okay, so figure number 4 for me that I'd love to see in the Return of the Jedi Retro Collection is the Biker Scout, or the Scout Trooper as you may prefer to know them. Play a huge part in Return of the Jedi, that iconic speeder bike chase through the Forest of Endor. We all love the Biker Scout. The way they adapted the helmet to look slightly different with that sort of visor over the top to protect their vision while they're riding on the speeder bikes. Obviously, again, we have that iconic scene with Wicket and Leia where they end up in the chase, and just a fantastic figure for me. A really underrated vintage figure, and for me, I would love to see this one released in the Retro Collection. So that is my 4th choice.
Freeze! Come on, get Get out. Go get your ride and take her back to base.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the fifth figure for me would be Lando Calrissian in his skiff disguise. Now, I absolutely love this figure, and it's very similar to Leia in Boost disguise. I actually think when you see this figure without his accessories, without his helmet, he just looks like a very, very standard sort of unassuming figure. But the minute you put the pike in his hand and his helmet on, it looks absolutely unbelievable. I don't know if this will surprise a few people, this selection, but for me, it's a fantastic figure. Again, we see him in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi, and it's just a figure that once his accessories in his hand and his helmet's on, I think it looks absolutely superb. And my personal favourite version of Lando in the vintage line. So, Lando Calrissian in skiff disguise would be my figure number 5. Okay, and my final choice, everyone. Did you really think I weren't going to put him in? My final choice is Boba Fett. Now, I know what you're all thinking. You're all thinking, well, we've already had Boba Fett in the Retro Collection line. And of course we have, but we've had him on the Empire Strikes Back card. Who wouldn't want another Boba Fett on the Return of the Jedi Blue Sky card? I mean, this guy on that card back would be unbelievable for me in the Return of the Jedi Retro Collection. And again, you just can't have too many Boba Fetts. An unbelievably good vintage line character. I think he looks superb. All those lovely colours. I think it's an absolutely exceptional looking vintage character. And of course, he's my personal favourite. I may have said that once or twice on the channel. But for me, I would love to see a Return of the Jedi Retro Collection Boba Fett on the Blue Sky card.
You may take Captain Solo to Jabba the Hutt after I have Skywalker.
He's no good to me dead.
He will not be permanently damaged.
So there we go, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. They are my 6 figures that I would love to see released in the Return of the Jedi Retro Collection. Did you like the list? Did you agree? Did you disagree? Jump into the comments, let me know your thoughts, but also let me know which 6 figures you would pick as well. But also, I'd like to invite all my YouTube friends to do a video on this as well. I would love to see which 6 figures you guys would choose, and would love to see a video on it. But before we go, everyone, I just want to give a big shout out to a new YouTube channel that I've recently subscribed to. Now, the channel is called Toys Not Trash, and it's run by a guy called Bobby, UK-based guy, fantastic channel, really nice guy. I've been speaking to him recently, and Bobby started a channel talking about modern and vintage toys, especially toys from his childhood that he's now trying to reacquire as an adult. Fantastic channel, lovely guy. Please check it out, guys. Give him some likes and a subscribe. I guarantee you'll enjoy it. It's a fantastic channel, so be sure to check him out. So there we go, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by and giving me a shot. I hope you'll consider leaving a like and subscribing. And if you're one of my regular viewers and someone that's been watching for a while now, I know I say it every week, guys, but I really do appreciate every single one of you. Leave any comments or questions in the comment section below. I read everyone's comments and I always get back to everybody. And as always, keep collecting. I'll see you next time.